Right, let's talk about the Euros. Hasn't this come round quick? The European Championships is here and it starts tomorrow night. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just take you through some of the runners and riders, and I'll even give you a little bit of an idea as to the favourites, and if you do fancy a flutter on them, what sort of odds you can get on them. Shall we go? Let's go. Right, as you can see in the obviously everyone's going to look at teams like England, teams like Belgium, teams like Portugal, teams like France, and the Italians as well, and the Spanish. Quality football teams, and I think it's going to be a very, very open tournament. I believe this is. I don't believe it's going to be as closed off as people believe. And if people think about it, you can't take anything for granted after what happened in 2004 when miraculously Greece won the championship. So that's to tell you can't take anybody for granted or lightly in any of this. So it's going to be quite an interesting championship, one that I'm looking forward to watching. Watching all the games and see how they all pan out. Now let's go to some of the runners and riders of the event. And like teams I've already mentioned, those teams you've already mentioned. I think though the Dutch are going to be, I believe, a good, I've got a good chance this year. I don't know why, I just feel something about the Dutch. I think they've always kind of underperformed. It's kind of like how Spain used to be. Remember when Spain used to really underperform and you're always expecting Spain to click? Well, the Dutch are one of those teams, where they've always done well. They've always sort of, a lot of the time, gone deep. I know they've had a difficult last 5 years or so, but they've always been thereabouts, the Dutch. So it's, everyone's going to be thinking, France, because they've got things like Mbappe, things like that. We've got Kane and some quality players going to our side. Obviously, Harry Kane is the main name. Belgium, you've got people like Lukaku, and you've got De Bruyne, if he actually is able to be involved, which I believe he will be. And Courtois as a goalkeeper, and Tielemans and things like that could be involved for Belgium. And obviously everyone will talk about Portugal, but realistically, that's kind of like the Ronaldo show when they won it. I think Ronaldo basically most of the time single-handedly won it, even though people say, well, it's a team event. It was, because I think they did win the final. I think it was without Ronaldo, but I still think he's Portugal's main driving force. But they have got a couple of good players now coming through, such as like Bruno Fernandes and things like that. So there is quality there. Let's go through some of the odds for the event. As you can see, I can tell you, if you didn't know, the actual favourites for the event are the French. And I've got them odds. I've seen them odds at 9-2. It's that's quite interesting. The French are 9-2. England are 5-1. Belgium are 6-1. And Portugal and Italy and Spain are all fourth favourite at 8-1, alongside Germany. So, I mean, but you can understand why with the French, because they've got that much talent, really, coming through and going forward and everything. It's going to be one of the, like I said, I think it's going to be one of the most open tournaments. But I'd also say don't rule out a little bit of an outsider. I say an outsider, and I'd say an each way bet, if you are looking at those, is the Dutch. Like I've mentioned earlier, the Dutch. They're 14-1 to win the actual event. Now, if you're not for win bets, you can always go each way on them. 14-1 is not a bad each way shot if you fancied it. You know, and I think that, you know, the Dutch are showing that, you know, that they're becoming difficult to beat again. I think they like going more the 4-3-3. I think they prefer the 4-3-3. At the minute they're playing a 5 at the back, but I think the Dutch and the Dutch supporters prefer a 4-3-3 formation. But I think, you know, their manager at the minute prefers a 5 at the back more than a 4. So it's going to be an open tournament. I think all sport is just open. You know, I mean, I think if the top teams perform to how we expect them to, the top teams will be there or thereabouts. Personally, I think that the winners are going to be Belgium. I just think they've got so much quality going through their side that it's hard to look past those. I mean, England, because of home advantage, people are going to be saying, could it be like Euro 96, but we take that one step further? Possibly. But for me, Belgium are the team to look out for, you know. I mean, they have got quality, and if they can get De Bruyne fit, and you've got Lukaku up front as well, and Tielemans, I believe, in the squad as well, they've got some quality. Courtois, that for defence, and that. I mean, to be honest, you can't really. To me, you can't look past Belgium. To me, I mean, obviously, I'm English and I want England to do well. I just think we could become too reliant on Harry Kane. I think England are. I think we're too reliant on Harry Kane. Some of the squad choices have been a bit, Gareth, are you sure? You know, and like I said, they haven't took Jesse Lingard and they haven't took James Ward-Prowse, and you're thinking, why haven't you taken these? You know, what's the? It's good to see Ben White get in for the England team, but I think a lot of people are disappointed that of some of the players that's been left out. I think that's got something to do with who you played for more than anything else. I think Ben White's got in deservedly, but he's snuck in through the back door. And I think that, to me, there's no pressure on Ben White. You know, but I just wonder when we look at us as a choice, and I'm thinking to myself, yeah, if we can get, you know, if we don't become reliant on Harry Kane, we've got a chance. You know, Harry to probably be the top scorer, especially for England. But I don't think we can afford to be reliant, shall we say, on Harry, because we'll get found out. And I fancy us to probably at least get to the quarters, maybe the semis again, win it. I'd love them to. I just don't see it. And I don't really see, you know, a favourite may win it, but like we said, it's played on grass. We never know who's going to win these things. But it's going to be interesting and entertaining to find out who does win it. And now what we'll go on quickly is we'll go on to the very first game of the tournament, which is going to be Turkey taking on the Italians. Now, this could be a tricky encounter for both. Turkey are one of these sort of teams that never used to do much in world and European football. And just in the last decade or so, they've started to become a little bit more of a danger than what they ever used to be. I think it's going to be a tough test for the Italians, this opening game. I really think it'll be difficult, and I fancy him to nick it, but I fancy him to do a good old professional job on the Turkish. I'm actually going to give you a prediction for this. I'm going to say Italy 2, Turkey 0. And I think, you know, the Italians are going to be dangerous. They always are, actually, in European competition. There's actually, I think there's about 8 to 10 teams that can realistically win this tournament. And it's going to be quite intriguing to see who actually does come out on top. So my pick for the tournament is Belgium. Obviously, I would love, like I said in the video earlier, I would love England to do it. But I just think we may become a little too reliant on a player, and that concerns me. Whereas I think if you look at a team like Belgium, they've got far more threats than we've got. I think their squad has far more to it. But an outside chance for me is the Dutch. But we'll have to wait and see. But with this video, what's your opinions on this, guys? What do you think is going to happen with the Euros? And like I said, I'll be doing previews for this every day for the tournament coming up. You know, the next night, each night, I'll have a preview of the day after. You know, of every day coming. So look out for those; they are coming as well. But yeah, what are you guys' opinions? What do you think is going to happen? Have you got a prediction? Obviously, I'm sure all English supporters would love England to win it. Do you really believe England can? You know, what are your opinions? And like I said, if we look one more time at the favourites, France are the favourites for the event. Do you believe that, or do you think England should be? You know, it's going to be a very, very, I believe, open, interesting event. And like I say, I'm going to go Italy to Turkey 0. I just think Immobile could cause some real trouble in there. He sets up the Italian league unbelievably. So, yeah, what's everybody's opinion? Who do you think will win it? Who do you think will be the top scorer in the event? You know, what's your opinions and what's your prediction for tomorrow's match between Italy and Turkey? Let me know, and I'll be back with another preview very, very soon. Like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll be back with some more later on. Bye bye.